The Bretons who lived in Brittany were fine and noble people. In days gone by, these valiant, courtly, and noble men composed lays for posterity, and thus preserved them from oblivion. These lays were based on adventures they had heard, and which had befallen many a person. One of them, which I have heard recited, should not be forgotten. It concerns Equitan, a most courtly man, lord of Nantes, justiciary, and king. Equitan enjoyed a fine reputation, and was greatly loved in his land. He adored pleasure and amorous dalliance. For this reason he upheld the principles of chivalry. Those who lack a full comprehension and understanding of love show no thought for their lives. Such is the nature of love, that no one under its sway can retain command over reason. Equitan had a seneschal, a good knight, brave and loyal, who took care of his entire territory, governing it and administering its justice. Never, except in time of war, would the king have forsaken his hunting, his pleasures, or his river sports, whatever the need might have been. As his wedded wife, the seneschal had a woman who was to bring great misfortune to the land. She was a lady of fine breeding and extremely beautiful, with a noble body and good bearing. Nature had spared no pains when fashioning her. Her eyes sparkled, her face and mouth were beautiful, and her nose was well set. She had no equal in the kingdom, and the king, having often heard her praised, frequently sent her greetings and gifts. They had never met, but he conceived a desire for her, and seized the first opportunity to speak with her. He went hunting in our region, on his own, and on returning from his sport, took lodging for the night in the place where the seneschal dwelt, in the very castle where the lady was to be found. He had ample occasion to speak with her, to express his feelings and display his fine qualities. He found her most courtly and wise, beautiful in body and countenance, of fair appearance and cheerful disposition. Love admitted him into her service, and let fly in his direction an arrow which left a very deep wound in him. It was launched in his heart, and there it became firmly fixed. Wisdom and understanding were of no avail. Through the lady, love caught him unawares, with the result that he was distraught and overcome with sadness. Unable to withstand its power, he was forced to give love his full attention. That night he neither slept nor rested, but spent his time reproaching and reprimanding himself. Alas, he said, what destiny brought me to this region? Because of this lady I have seen, my heart has been overwhelmed by a pain so great that my whole body trembles. I think I have no option but to love her. Yet, if I did love her, I should be acting wrongly, as she is the seneschal's wife. I ought to keep faith with him and love him, just as I want him to do with me. If he managed somehow to find out about the love, I know full well it would grieve him, but nevertheless it would be far worse if I were to be laid low because of her. How sad if such a beautiful woman were not in love or had no lover. How could she be a true courtly lady if she had no true love? There is no man on earth who would not benefit greatly if she loved him. If the seneschal were to hear tell of it, he should not distress himself too much. He cannot keep her entirely for himself. I am certainly willing to share her with him. Having spoken thus, he uttered a sigh, then lay in bed, deep in thought. Later he spoke, saying, Why am I so distressed and alarmed? I do not yet know, indeed I have never known, if she would be willing to take me as her lover. But I shall soon find out. If she felt as I do, this agony of mine would disappear. Oh God, daybreak is so long in coming. I can get no rest. Many hours have elapsed since I came to bed last night. The king stayed awake until morning, which he awaited with impatience. Then he rose and set off on his hunt. But he soon turned back, saying how very ill he was, and returned to his chamber to lie down. The seneschal was grieved by this, not realizing the cause of the illness, or why the king was feverish. His wife was the true reason for it. To please and comfort him, the king had her come and speak with him, whereupon he disclosed his feelings to her, letting her know that he was dying because of her, and that she was well able to bring comfort to him, or to cause his death. My lord, said the lady, I must have time to reflect on this. At this stage I am not sure what to do. You are a king of great nobility. I am not wealthy enough to be the object of your love or passion. If you had your way with me, I know well and am in no doubt that you would soon abandon me, and I should be very much worse off. If it should come about that I loved you and granted your request, our love would not be shared equally. Because you are a powerful king, my husband is your vassal, you would expect, as I see it, to be lord and master in love as well. Love is not honorable, unless it is based on equality. A poor man, if he is loyal and possesses wisdom and merit, is of greater worth and his love more joyful than that of a prince or king who lacks loyalty. If anyone places love higher than is appropriate for his own station in life, he must fear all manner of things. The powerful man is convinced that no one can steal away his beloved over whom he intends to exercise his seigneurial right. To this, Equitan replied, "My lady, I beg you, do not say such things. Such men are not truly courtly. This is the sort of deal struck between merchants who, to acquire wealth or a large fief, expend much effort for some unseemly purpose. Any wise and courtly lady of noble disposition, who sets a high price on her love and is not fickle, deserves to be sought after by a rich prince in his castle, and loved well and loyally, even if her only possession is her mantle. Those who are fickle in love and resort to trickery end up becoming a laughing-stock and are deceived in their turn. We have seen many cases of this. It is no surprise that a man should lose out if his actions warrant it. My dearest lady, I surrender myself to you. Do not regard me as your king, but as your vassal and lover. I swear to you in all honesty that I shall do your bidding. Do not let me die because of you. You can be the mistress and I the servant. You the haughty one and I the suppliant. Suppliant. I don't know. A bit French there. You can be the mistress and I the servant. You the haughty one and I the suppliant. So long did the king speak with her, and so ardently did he beg for mercy, that she promised him her love and gave him her body. By an exchange of rings they took possession of each other and pledged their faith. They kept this faith well and loved each other dearly. It was later to be the cause of their death. Their love lasted a long time and remained undetected. When they had arranged to meet and speak with each other, the king told his followers he was to be bled in private. The doors of the bedchamber were closed. Never would anyone have dared to enter without the king's summons. The seneschal presided over the cot, hearing the pleas and accusations. The king loved the lady for a long time and had no desire for any other woman. He did not wish to marry and refused to permit the subject to be discussed. The courtiers thought ill of him for this, the point where the matter often came to the ears of the seneschal's wife. It distressed her greatly and she feared losing him. So next time she was able to talk to him, when she ought to have been full of joy, kissing him, holding him in tight embrace and enjoying herself with him, she wept bitterly and was plunged into grief. The king asked her how this could be. The lady replied, "Lord, I am weeping for a love which brings great sorrow to me. You will take a wife, a king's daughter, and leave me. I have heard this mentioned often, and I am sure it will happen. What would become of me, unhappy wretch? Through you my death is death. Lord, I am weeping for a love which brings great sorrow to me. You will take a wife, a king's daughter, and leave me. I have heard this mentioned often, and I am sure it will happen. What will become of me, unhappy wretch? Through you my death is inevitable, for I know of no other consolation." The king replied with great tenderness, "My fair one, do not be afraid. I shall certainly never take a wife or leave you for another. Accept this as the truth, and believe me, if your husband were dead, I should make you my queen and my lady. I should not be deterred from this for anyone's sake." The lady thanked him and expressed her gratitude. If he promised not to abandon her for another woman, she would, she said, soon bring about her husband's death. It would be easy to arrange, provided he were willing to help her. He agreed that he would do so. Regardless of the consequence, he would do his utmost to accomplish whatever she commanded. "Lord," she said, "please come hunting in the forest in the region where I live. Stay in my husband's castle, be bled there, and take a bath on the third day. My husband will be bled and take a bath with you. Make sure you tell him to keep you company. I shall have the baths heated and the 2 tubs brought in. The water in his bath will be so boiling hot that no mortal man could escape scalding or destruction before he has settled down in it. When he has been scalded to death, summon your vassals and his. Show them how he suddenly died in the bath." The king promised faithfully to do what she wished. Less than 3 months later, the king went hunting in the region. He had himself bled together with his seneschal as a precaution against illness. On the 3rd day, he declared that he would take a bath. The seneschal assented to this, and the king said, "You will bathe with me." The seneschal replied, "I agree." The lady had the baths heated and the 2 tubs brought in. As planned, each of the tubs was placed in front of the bed. She had the boiling water brought in for the seneschal, who had gone out in search of relaxation. The lady came to speak to the king, and he made her sit down beside him. They lay down on the lord's bed and took their pleasure. They lay there together. Because of the tub which stood before them, they had the door guarded by a maiden who was to stand there. Suddenly, the seneschal returned and banged on the door which the girl kept closed. He gave it such a violent blow that it was forced open, whereupon he discovered the king and his wife in each other's arms. The king looked up and saw him approaching. To conceal his wickedness, he jumped feet first into the tub, completely naked. He paid no heed to the danger involved and was scalded to death. His evil plan had rebounded on him, whereas the seneschal was safe and sound. He saw just what had happened to the king. Seizing his wife immediately, he tossed her head first into the bath. Thus they died together, the king first, then the woman with him. Anyone willing to listen to reason could profit from this cautionary tale. Evil can easily rebound on him who seeks another's misfortune. All this happened as I have described. The Bretons composed a lay on the subject about how Equitan died and about the lady who loved him so dearly.